And some of you may well have noticed that Will's not sat next to me.
No, hi.
So we're out, we've arrived in Liège, in Belgium, and David has joined us. He flew over in his private jet.
No, I didn't put that yet. Next year, straight across at this junction.
And we're basically going out for a meal tonight. So we've just had a lovely meal at a place called Apilori, which apparently is like, well, over here is the law courts, and just outside the restaurant is where they would put people in the stocks and throw fruit and veg at them. So that's basically what it means. But we had a really nice steak. It was very strange. The steak arrived uncooked and it was thrown onto a heated plate by yourself. You basically cooked your own steak at the table. So yeah, it was lovely. Selfie one. Say cheers. Cheers. Do it yourself cooking.
Barbecue.
It's good as that, isn't it? Well, it's Friday morning, and we're heading out of Liège, heading towards Bruges, and we thought we'd stop and look at a couple of things on the way. And first on the list is the Battle of Waterloo Memorial, which is just south of Brussels. So we're going to be there in about an hour. We're going to have a look at that. We had a lovely time in Liège last night. We met up with David, and we went for a steak, which was very interesting but extremely nice. You had to cook it yourself. And basically Bruges is going to be the last European stop before we head back over to London tomorrow. So yeah, so Waterloo next stop. So we're here at the memorial to the Battle of Waterloo, and you can see the memorial mound behind me with the lion on the top. But what you don't see is the new museum that they built to mark the 200th anniversary, which is buried underground, so as not to spoil the view. And it is a really good museum. Lots of exhibits, a 3D panorama display, animation, tells the whole story. Really worth visiting. And of course the view from the top is great. So we're on top of a mound hill on the battlefield of Waterloo, and just above me there is a lion, and this was built not long after the war as a memorial. Fantastic view. Right, so we're just driving into Bruges now. It's been quite a long trek actually from Waterloo, where we went to the museum. The motorways, which are pretty straight in Belgium, it was just one long traffic jam all the way. So we're quite glad to be here, although we're not quite there yet. So let's see how we get on. But this is going to be the last day on our road trip on the continent. Well, are they controlling the horse correctly?
I don't really know when it comes to carriages. I assume so. That wasn't too long either.
No. So what have you got there, Will?
Lasagna.
And?
Chips.
Pomfret. Looks nice. And I've got this, which looks very nice. So it's Saturday morning, and we are in Calais. 9 o'clock French time. 9 o'clock French time, and we're just queuing to get our passports checked, and then we're on the Eurotunnel. So we're about to go through high security checkpoints for Calais, and I just got to show you, Will, what you're reading. Show them what you're reading. About guns. William's reading a book about guns as he drives through security. Yeah, probably a good idea to put it away, Will.
Affiché sur les écrans d'information ou donné par l'équipage. En cas d'incident détecté dans votre compartiment.
Well, we've come through the tunnel. We've set our watches back an hour to UK time. I've now got to think about driving on the correct side of the road. I must admit, it's nice to be back. There's a train leaving just here. We arrived in London, and there's Will. Found the Lotus store and decided to treat myself. So, Covent Garden in London, and the final night of the road trip. Me and Will. You alright, Will?
Fine, thank you.
And of course I had to buy the t-shirt. Will's a bit embarrassed. I did offer to buy him one so we could go around in matching Lotus t-shirts, but he wasn't having it. So we're just outside the Apple store at the moment, and we're going to meet Tom and Courtney, and then we're going to go for a Chinese in Chinatown, London. We're in London. This is Tom. Say hello, Tom.
Hello.
Will's brother. There's Will. Drink in hand. So this is our last night on the road trip. We're in Soho at the moment, having a drink. And tomorrow we drive up the M1 back home, and yeah, and that's it. And it's been good. We're just kind of reminiscing at the moment about what we've done. Well, good morning. This is our final leg of the European road trip. We had spent the night in London last night, and we had a great time. Quite a party. Went to Soho, Covent Garden, Whitechapel, met up with Tom and Courtney, some of his friends, and it was a late night. But we left this morning. The rain has come down with a vengeance, so we know we're definitely home. We've had to put the roof on, and you may recall the tensioning wire that needed tightening up. Well, we've discovered that the rain comes through because we haven't tightened it up yet, so there's a few things I'm going to need to do when I get home. So we've arrived back in West Yorkshire, and our trip has come to an end. And we started out last Tuesday evening on the ferry to Rotterdam. We went through Holland, we went through Germany, down into Austria, Italy, Switzerland, back through Germany, into Belgium, into the UK. I'll not forget the Stelvio Pass. I'll not forget the Nürburgring, the nice hotels we've stayed at, the not so nice hotels we've stayed at, and I just need to plan the next trip now. So we'll have to see. There may be another trip at some point in the future. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching.